Because Steven here has a story that ended up on CNN that I think you should share.
Did it end up on CNN?
I think you should share about your experience with your tics.
This would be great.
Here, I'll start it. So because the first 2 seasons we were shooting outside in the woods. Season 3, the greatest advancement was we had air conditioning because the sets for the prison and everything were air conditioned, but mostly we were shooting outside. And one of the things you have to do when you're done shooting is go home and take all your clothes off and make sure you don't have any ticks. Because we were shooting in the woods and you'd come home and you'd be like, what the hell is that? And you'd have to, and they give you like a little kit. You have to use tweezers and you have to pull it so that you pull the head out so you don't get sick. So you have to do tick checks when you get home from work. I've offered for a few people in the crew to give them tick checks, but no.
No tickers.
You can give me a tick check.
What?
No.
I think she'll give you a tick check.
I think I said chick check.
Tick check, no.
So to go off of that, essentially what happened was I was doing a tick check and I didn't have any ticks. So I was like, I'm chilling. So I drove home and I went home and I was like doodling around the apartment for a while, and then I went to take a shower. And when you take a shower, you take your clothes off. And so when I took my clothes off, as a guy, you check to see if things are intact, like just on a daily basis, like you see if it's there. I was looking there at my other knee, and on my other knee there was a guest. It was like a big fat ass tick on the tip of my knob. And I freaked out, first of all. Freaked out. But the greatest thing is that this guy really wanted to be there. And I could hold him. I'm gonna say it's a woman because that makes me feel better. I could hold her or it by its body and then also hold me. So I could like puppeteer myself with this tip. So I'm freaking out. I pull it off. I put it on the tape, on the sink, and then it starts running away, so I burn the shit out of that bitch. And then I went and took a shower, and in the shower, I just started laughing hysterically, because all I could think of was like, I'm glad that it happened to me, and at that time, it would have been either me or John Bernthal, because we would be the only two in the entire set that would ever share with everyone that happened. Everyone would be too fucking embarrassed to ever tell anyone that they had a tick on their dick. But for me, I was like, that, the universe let me have that so that I can share that with the world.
Very glamorous, this job.
Yeah. I'm just thinking of others. I'm thinking of others. You know what I mean? I like to share.
I love when you came up to me on set the next day, you're like, I had a tickle on my pickle. Wait, what? And then the story gets better.
So gross.
It's gross. Well, why don't we take some of the questions from the audience that you guys submitted beforehand that we have for some of you guys individually. Let's see. We have, for Greg, how is the makeup effect done on the zombies that have the lower jaw missing? Is that all CGI green screen?
Wait, who asked the question? Is it on there?
Oh, I'm sorry. This is Brandon Uller from Milwaukee.
Brandon, where you at?
Brandon?
Brandon, where you at? Woo! Wherever you are. So, what we ended up doing for Michonne's Pets was we actually sculpted the prosthetic so that we moved the entire face forward. The eyes that were in it were fake eyes. so that we could use the optical illusion that the jaws were missing. So it was an actual practical gag. You know, we don't have to worry about zombies blinking so much, so we put fake eyes in the prosthetic, and then visual effects remove the arms. But it was really an effective thing. We tested it a couple times. So in the beginning of episode 8, when you see Tyrese and Sasha for the first time and they're killing walkers outside of the prison, we used the same piece and put a fake jaw on it and then ripped the jaw off. So that was all done as a practical makeup that worked really well. Of course, you know, the trick is with the contact lenses, going back to Steven's earlier story, you know, it's like looking through binoculars, so your peripheral vision is a little funky. So when you're doing stunts and stuff with these people, they can really only see through a very small margin. And those particular guys that played Michonne's pets, because the prosthetic was built off of their face, we put fake eyes in, they were completely blind. So every scene that they were in, they couldn't see anything. We'd have to rehearse it, all their movements, and then we put the fake eyes in, and they couldn't see through them, and then they would do the scene. So, pretty challenging. Good question.
Oh, is that the guy that's been saying you can do it?
No, that's me.
You guys all sound so similar.
Jackass 2 rows behind me.
Yeah! Third alert!
Do you
You
think
can
that the
do
group
it!
would be safer without Rick? Why or why not?
Yeah, Joe.
Yeah.
No, I think Rick has actually gone through such a journey now. I mean, the whole Rick Shane argument, Rick went through some times where he was flawed and he wasn't there for the group in a way he needed to be, I think, in season 2. And what you guys are seeing him go through now is a complete unraveling, which would happen if you'd gone through what Rick has gone through. But I think that what ultimately is going to come from this is a very strong leader. And I think the group has always known this, and I think we're really going to get a chance to see that.
Safer with
Kind
Rick.
of the pinnacle of this. Definitely safer with Rick.
This one's for Norman from Erica Stedman from Milwaukee. You hear, Erica? All right, close enough. So she's saying that Daryl's evolved from being like an independent survivor type to being a critical member of the team. Do you believe this shift has come from one specific moment or relationship, or from a series of events?
I mean, I think it's more than one thing. I think, you know, I think Daryl was destined to become Mini Merle, you know, and I think a part of him. Oh, let me finish. But I think, you know, he always was sort of embarrassed that that's who he's going to be, you know. So now that that's away from him, like having these people rely on him for anything for the first time, he's never had that before. So I think he sort of has, you know, this sense of self-worth that he's never had. So I think that those relationships are starting to make him a new man in a way, you know what I mean? So I think that's what that is. What?
I think they all even have sex with Carol.
I'll nail her for sure.
I have to say, we got a great question yesterday, which I have to say, the question was 2 parts. Who would you fuck and who would you kill on the show? Each of the actors' response was you fuck them, then you kill them.
Or you kill them, then you fuck them.
And then they come back and then you kill them again.
Then you kill them again.
All right,
And then you fuck them again. This is a late night crowd, right?
This is not PG-13 tonight.
No. This one's for Steven. This is another one from Jen Edgeworth from West Bend. Well done. Do you think that if something happens to Rick, that Glenn would be able to be leader of the group?
I think what Glenn is going through right now at this point is he is reeling from, you know, a lot of trauma and also being a young man. And yeah, maybe he does have the leadership qualities in him, but you know, if you're young and you don't know what's going on and your significant other gets, completely violated in your eyes, exactly. And then then how do you react? You might react really brash and. 45! Sure, but I don't know if he's there yet, but he's getting there. That's for sure. I do.
You were fucking awesome. You were set down. Fucking psycho. I love it.
Hold on. I do gotta say, is everybody like trashed here? You know what we gotta do? Can we not do those questions? What? Can we not do those questions? Sure. We're gonna take questions out here.
I like this a lot.
Hey, what's your name?
My name's Nick. I'm a proud resident of Milwaukee. Welcome to Milwaukee.
Is it true or not true that you're the one that said I was delicious?
Yeah, Glenn, I really think you are delicious. Brother right here. You make Chris Hardwick look like a pansy.
Is that a compliment?
Because on Talking Dead, Chris Hardwick was really stoked on. And so I just want to let you know you're delicious too.
Okay. Who are you calling? Who are you calling right now? Why is your hand on the small of my back? Yeah, but what's your question?
You gotta have a question.
Yeah, it is a question. When you really love someone and you want to make sure that they're... When you get involved with someone that's really special and you really get involved in a show that you guys have done so, you guys are fucking rad with your writing and your acting. And it's something that my wife can agree on because we're really not into...
Wait, you have a wife?
Watching The Real Housewives of Orange County, so it's great because she's into Walking Dead with me. I was wondering if I could do a quick self-pick with this.
Yeah. What was the question?
I'll do it. Who has a question? Who has an actual question? Let's have some actual questions.
Okay, I'm gonna go back here. Can I do a question first?
We have one right here.
Alright, I'm gonna go back here. Wow. Okay. Well, you have a question?
Yes, thank you.
We have a question.
Okay, thank you all for coming. Since the show was a smash from the start, the cast members that you've had that have been killed off, when did they find out and how did they react?
That's a good question. He's asking when the cast members find out when they're going to get killed off. Sometimes they find out a couple days before. When Sophia died, I had to call Gail and Hurd because we had to make a face cast of her for her zombie prosthetics. And she's such a sweet little girl. Madison was so great. She just kept saying, I love the show. I just hope I never come back as a walker. The script came out and we all knew that after the first 8 episodes that she was gonna die. Nobody wanted, we couldn't even eat lunch with her or talk to her because we knew 2 weeks and she was gonna be dead and we didn't want to break this poor little girl's heart. But we have to call the actors and tell them. And there was one little fuck up we had in episode 8 of this year because the guy who played Oscar, who got killed when they were leaving Woodbury, nobody told him he was dying. He got the script and read the script, and it's and Oscar gets shot, and we all went, oh shit, nobody told him, so he was on set like this. Taking so long. Do you guys not he was really did I do something wrong? No. And I went up and I'm oh my God, we're so sorry, and I had to apologize. But literally, could you imagine being in the makeup trailer with the other actors and you're reading, and you're man, I love this job, this is so great. What?